Hi, my name is Bruce, and this video is about center drills versus spotting drills. I wonder which one will win. Most twist drills have a chisel point, most common twist drills. This is the chisel right here, this little line that runs across there. And it's really just the intersection of the two flanks of the drill bit, but it's kind of flat in cross section, so it kind of plows its way through the material rather than cutting like a tool with rake, like the cutting lips. This is the cutting lip here. That's got rake on it, and that will cut its way through the material. The chisel just kind of pushes material around and plows through it. You can see from this angle how that chisel point is pretty much flat, and that's the first thing to hit the work. In cross section, the chisel point of a twist drill is basically flat. So if you apply it to a flat surface, there's nothing to guide it, and it can wander around before it plows in, resulting in a hole that is oversized or off-center. And a jobber length twist drill is quite flexible, so if it wants to wander, it can very easily. So here is a 1/4 inch standard jobber length twist drill, and I'm just going to push on it with my thumb, and you can see how flexible it is. You can even see it bend visually. There's $20 thou or so of bend there, just with a gentle thumb pressure really. And for comparison, here is a 1/4 inch center drill, and same thumb, same pressure. I get like 1 thou. Very much stiffer. And here a 1/4 inch spotting drill, and same result, same as the center drill. Get about 1 thou. In fact, that 1 thou is probably not the drill itself bending, it's probably the combination of the whole tailstock and chuck. And just to check, here is the dial indicator on the chuck, and same pressure. Yeah, it's 1 thou. So it's the stiffness of the chuck, the tailstock, everything. The drill itself is not bending very much at all with the pressure that I can put on it. To make sure the hole is in the right place, you can use a center punch mark. My center punches have a 90-degree point on them. But center punch marks are quite small, and so if the chisel point of the drill is bigger than the center punch mark, you're back to being able to wander around as if the center punch mark wasn't even there. But for a drill that's small enough, the center punch mark will act as a guide for the drill, and that's why that works. Center spots made with a spotting drill should have an included angle the same as, or preferably larger than, the twist drill you're going to use. Then the corners of the chisel of the twist drill, this is a 120-degree spot center spot. This is a 118-degree twist drill. It's a piece of cardboard that looks like a twist drill. But the corners of the chisel point are the first things to connect with the hole. And so they really don't have anywhere to go except stay on center. The walls of the hole push them back into center. And because the chisel point plows its way into the metal, it's not really going to grab at all. It's only going to be pushed away. So it pushes away both sides and stays in the middle. the size of the center spot doesn't have to be very big. The diameter of it just has to be bigger than the chisel, the length of the chisel on the twist drill, and then it will work as intended. Center drill spots, on the other hand, most center drills are 60 degrees. This one is shown as 60 degrees here. This is 60 degrees included angle. So that's designed for a center to come into here, not a drill. When the twist drill comes into contact, here's my 118 degree twist drill, the first point of contact is here, up on this corner, and on the cutting lip of the twist drill. So while in principle this works because the drill is still kind of pushed into the middle of the spot, of the center spot, but the cutting lip can grab that corner and drag the drill into the material on that side. And a twist drill, a jobber length twist drill, is not stiff enough to resist this. So you can end up with a hole that's not in the center or oversize. Oversize on the lathe because the drill bit acts as a boring bar once it's pulled off center. But there's an even bigger risk. If the drill bit is not ground with the tip geometry perfectly symmetrical, then for sure one side is going to grab before the other. And I don't know about you, but in my home shop that is a very definite possibility with sharp tools that I sharpen. So now I'm going to try drilling into the work, which in this case is just cold rolled steel, faced, and without any center drill or spotting or nothing at all, just flat face. I've got the dial on the drill, so if there's any movement of the drill we'll see it easily. Let's give it a try. Well, all I can say is there was a lot of movement, wandering. The chisel point of the drill was wandering around trying to find its way into the material. I don't know what the readings were on the dial indicator, but it was all over, and you could probably see the drill flexing. Now here's the same thing again with a center drill instead of the jobber length twist drill. Same thing, cold rolled steel, faced. This is 700 RPM. And I think you could see the difference. It was very much less wandering, wiggling around of the center drill. And same thing again, this time with a spotting drill, a 1/4 inch spotting drill. And the same as the center drill, not much wandering around. So here is the jobber length twist drill now, but this time with a spot already drilled into the work, using the spotting drill, and we'll see how much wandering the twist drill does. Everything else is the same material, same speed. So I think that's significantly less wandering than when there was no spot. And that's the point of using a spotting drill or a center drill. Now here is the 1/4 inch jobber drill going into a center drilled center, but this time right into the countersink of the center drill. So now there's a 60-degree cone in there, and the jobber drill will touch the center at the edges, not in the middle. Let's see. Well, that was interesting. And now look at the reading. It's actually the dial tuning indicator is not contacting anymore. In fact, the drill bit has moved so much that it's actually pushed the stylus of the indicator back so that it's out of contact. Okay, so what have we learned? The drill bit engaging with the center spot made with a center drill moved more even than without any center spot at all, because it was catching on the edges, on those sharp corners of the center drill spot. So that's why I think that a spotting drill is a better tool for starting a drill bit than a center drill. So here's an example of why the stiffness of a spotting drill or center drill is so critical and so much different to a regular twist drill. Here is a center punch that missed the scribe lines. You can see it's just slightly to the left of the cross section of the intersection of the scribe lines. So if I put a regular jobber length drill, twist drill on that, it would be attracted to fall into the center punch mark and therefore be in the wrong place, the scribe lines being where it's supposed to be. So what I've done is put a spotting drill centered on the scribe lines. Using a pointer, I centered the spindle on the scribe lines, not on the center punch, and so when the center drill comes down, it'll hit the intersection of the scribe lines. So let's see what happens. Just touching, you can see that the center drill has now made a mark not on the center punch. And there we have a nice spot centered on the scribe marks. No worries. And that is the advantage of having a stiff spotting drill or center drill. I'm going to try that again. Here we have another center punch mark missing the crosshairs of the scribe lines. I guess I need to improve my center punch skills, but this time I have a 1/4 inch twist drill, jobber length twist drill in the chuck, and it is centered, the spindle of the milling machine is centered on the scribe lines. So let's see who wins. That looks to me like it's off-center. So just to compare, I've got another off-center center punch mark, and I've got a jobber length twist drill in the chuck, and it is centered on the scribe lines. And let's see what happens. Now, is that spot on the scribe lines? I guess we need to have a closer look. Let's just drill the hole. Now let's have a closer look with a better angle. Okay, so here's a closer look at whether that hole is on center. I'm going to put a protractor over it and put the crosshairs, line up the crosshairs with the scribe marks. I would say that's about there. And so now it seems to me that you can see the hole is not in the middle. So this edge of this hole is quite close to this crosshatch mark, and this edge is much further away. And in fact the same this way, this closer to the here than here. So the drill has followed the center punch mark, which was slightly left and up from the crosshairs, the scribe marks. So basically the drill followed the center punch, which is how it's supposed to work. You can use the flexibility of a jobber length twist drill to get the hole in the right place, provided of course that the center spot is in the right place. And looking at the 1/4 inch hole in the same way with the protractor, let's try and get this lined up. Okay, so yeah, it's a little bit off center. I would say it's just a fraction more here. The hole is just a fraction past the hash mark than here. It's relatively symmetrical this way in this axis, and if I remember, the center punch mark was displaced this away, not this away. While we're on the topic of getting the hole in the right place, let's talk about split point twist drills for a minute. Here is a split point twist drill. There are now kind of 4 facets on the tip. It's ground with an extra relief. This face here is ground out of the normal. Regular twist drills have only this flank here, and split point drills have an extra relief ground here right up into the point, so that the chisel is almost gone, so that this flank here, and the 2 on the other side meet pretty much at a diamond point. So that means that the split point drill can be used without a center spot. Although, you know, a jobber length drill is still very flexible, and even with a split point it can still wander a bit, so I would always use a center spot for a jobber length twist drill, even a split point one. Here's another view of that split point turned around, and it's hard to see, but the chisel, which on the other drill was flat across here, is now slightly tented. It's got a slight angle there and a slight angle here. So really, it just comes to a point. I have a question. Why are spotting drills more expensive than center drills? For the same size, material and manufacturer, the price today from my supplier, the price for a center drill here is $13.80, and a spotting drill is $14.86. Surely there's a lot more machining required to make the center drill than the spotting drill, and therefore it should cost more, especially considering that the center drill is double-ended. My theory is that commercial operations have the money to buy the right tool for the job, so prices are set accordingly, and I would think a commercial shop would use a lot more spotting drills than center drills. Cost is a much bigger factor for home shops like mine, so why buy two tools when you can make do with one? Well, that's my theory. Anyway, if someone actually knows why spotting drills are so expensive, or more expensive, it would be interesting to know. For a home shop, probably the best idea is to use the chisel point on a center drill as a spotting drill. So here's a center drill, and the pilot here, the point of the pilot is 118 degrees, same as most of your twist drills. Here's the 60 degrees chamfer for centers. So so you can make a spot just with the pilot, just with that tiny end, and as long as the diameter, the size of the chisel on the drill that you're going to use is smaller than the diameter of this V on the tip of the pilot on the center drill, then it will work as if the center drill was a spotting drill. And for me, that would be far better than utilizing the 60 degree center, and also less material to remove with the center drill. Then if you do that, then you don't need spotting drills. You can just have center drills in your workshop, and as long as the chisel is smaller than the tip of the pilot, you're good. So that's it. I believe that spotting drills are the right tool for getting a hole in the right place, and that center drills are for centers. But you can use either one to make center spots, but I still think that the spotting drill with the correct included angle for the drill bit you're using will give better results. And for the home shop, don't forget the very tip of the pilot of the center drill can be the same thing as a spotting drill. So that's it. I hope you have found something interesting in this video. Bye for now.